The drama outside of the ring has been like something from a movie, with each fighter bragging and boasting about what's going to happen when Conor McGregor squares off against Floyd Mayweather in Las Vegas on August 26th. You've seen the press events. You've heard from the pundits. Now there's nothing to do except count down to the big day and binge watch these boxing movies. Yes, we put together a list of 10 boxing movies to make you hyped for Mayweather vs. McGregor, a real-life contest the size of Batman v Superman: Dawn of Justice.
I understand.
If you enjoyed this video, please like it and share it with your friends. And subscribe to MovieWeb to keep up with the conversation about all of the things we love. In one corner, we've got the 11-time 5-division professional boxing world champion, with 49 wins and 0 losses, Floyd Mayweather. In the other corner, it's UFC champion, megastar, and pro boxing underdog, Conor McGregor. It's been called the money fight, and with good reason. First of all, it will be a huge payday for both fighters. But furthermore, while boxing pundits and experts, including Mike Tyson, insist Conor has no chance against Floyd, McGregor has the support of his massive fan base, many of whom have laid out large sums of cash, literally betting against the odds and hoping for a surprise upset, like in the movies. Great boxing movies are all about heart, persistence, determination, and skill. They're about the battles fighters face outside of the ring, but perhaps most of all, the movies that have gone down as cinema classics tend to focus on the underdog. Rocky. First up, of course, is Rocky. Let's just get this one out of the way, shall we? Considering this film kicked off a franchise comprised of no less than a half a dozen movies and 2 spin-offs, it's easy to forget that before the action figures, the James Brown dance number, the Weird Al parody of the James Brown dance number, and the real-life statue on the steps in Philadelphia, Rocky was a passion project made for just $1 million. Sylvester Stallone wrote the 1976 sleeper hit, which earned an astounding 10 nominations at the 49th Annual Academy Awards, taking home Oscars for Best Picture, Best Film Editing, and Best Director. The late John G. Avildsen went on to direct another underdog story, The Karate Kid. Sly became a huge movie star, but even after 4 Rambo movies, Rocky remains his major legacy. Fat City. Rocky wasn't the only boxing movie to earn a place among the sports genre's greats to be released in the 1970s. 1972's Fat City stars Stacy Keach as a washed-up fighter, making another go of it after getting inspired by a teenager played by Jeff Bridges. Fat City was directed by film giant John Huston, who was responsible for The Maltese Falcon. Huston also directed Marilyn Monroe in The Misfits, not to be confused with the celebrated horror punk band who nicked their name from it. Hard Times. Speaking of hardcore punk, Hard Times isn't just the name of a song from the classic debut album from the Cro-Mags. It's also a 1975 boxing movie set during the Great Depression, starring Charles Bronson, just a year after Death Wish. There's gambling and criminals in the movie.
Okay, you're on.
It's also the directorial debut of Walter Hill, who blessed us with The Warriors, The Driver, and 48 Hours. In 2002, Hill returned to the boxing genre, writing and directing Undisputed, with Wesley Snipes as Monroe Undisputed Hutchins, and Ving Rhames as George Iceman Chambers. Raging Bull. Martin Scorsese blesses pretty much any genre he comes in contact with, and his greatest movies tend to star one of his 2 biggest cinematic collaborators, Leonardo DiCaprio in the modern era, and of course, Robert De Niro back in the day. Marty's first major muse won an Oscar for his portrayal of middleweight boxer Jake LaMotta, adapted from the real-life fighter's memoir, Raging Bull, My Story. De Niro famously gained 60 pounds to play the Italian-American pugilist in his later years.
What's the matter with you? Look at me. Now look at you. Now look at me. Now look at you.
Raging Bull, co-starring Kathy Moriarty and Joe Pesci, was the first movie to enter the National Film Register in its first year of eligibility. So in other words, it's great. Ali. Like De Niro, Will Smith committed to playing a real-life boxer by getting beefy with it, though in his case, the extra pounds were lean muscle mass. Accepting the title role of Muhammad Ali for director Michael Mann, the rapper-turned-actor bravely endeavored to play arguably the most famous boxer of all time.
That boy even dreamed he'd whoop me, he better wake up and apologize.
Spending a year getting into the boxing legend's headspace, he spent hours per day studying boxing and dialect, while immersing himself in all aspects of Ali's life. All the hard work paid off. Will Smith was rewarded with a Best Actor nomination. Ali's family asked Smith to be one of the pallbearers at Muhammad Ali's memorial service in 2016. Girl Fight. Writer, director, and producer Karen Kusama made her feature-length film debut with Girl Fight, a small-budget movie that blew the doors down at the Sundance Film Festival and made a star out of its lead, Michelle Rodriguez. Girl Fight was the first movie Rodriguez auditioned for, and she beat out 350 other girls for the job. It was a groundbreaking film on many levels, not the least of which was its authentic portrayal of the struggles and triumphs of the many women who entered the sport. $1 Million Baby. Without Girl Fight, we probably wouldn't be talking about $1 Million Baby, the Hilary Swank vehicle directed, co-produced, and scored by her co-star, Clint Eastwood.
Stop. God. Stop.
$1 Million Baby took the young upstart and grizzled mentor boxing movie trope and perfected it, with Eastwood's steady and specific filmmaking style bringing laser-like focus to the heart of the story. $1 Million Baby won 4 Academy Awards, including Best Picture, while elevating the cultural conversation about spoilers in critical and movie fan circles thanks to a significant plot twist. The Fighter. What could help us prepare to watch trash-talking Irish hero Conor McGregor enter the ring against his most formidable opponent?
What are you doing with a school bag on stage? You can't even read!
In unfamiliar circumstances? Then watching this adaptation of the true story of Irish-American boxer Mickey Ward. Huge boxing fan Mark Wahlberg co-produced and stars in The Fighter. Christian Bale and Melissa Leo both earned Oscars for playing Ward's half-brother and mother, respectively. The Fighter earned 7 Academy Award nominations in total, including Best Picture and Best Director. Wahlberg trained like crazy for the movie, a regimen that included work alongside Freddie Roach and saw the construction of an elaborate home gym. Creed. Creed works as both spin-off and sequel to the Rocky movies, with Sylvester Stallone's character shifting to the aging mentor role in service of a new contender, Adonis Donnie Johnson, who just so happens to be the little-known son of Rocky's late adversary turned friend, Apollo Creed.
He looks like a big flag.
Fresh off his acclaimed turn in Fruitvale Station, Michael B. Jordan wowed audiences and critics in the title role, with the role of Eric Killmonger in Marvel's Black Panther not far behind, which will reunite him with Creed director and co-writer Ryan Coogler. There's a Creed sequel in the works too. The Harder They Fall. There's a slew of worthy boxing movies to get your blood pumping from the 40s, 50s, and 60s, including among them Body and Soul, Champion, and Requiem for a Heavyweight, which was written by Rod Serling, host and mastermind of The Twilight Zone. We also highly recommend 1970's The Great White Hope, starring the voice of Darth Vader and Mufasa himself, James Earl Jones. The Harder They Fall is especially notable for a number of reasons, from its film noir motifs, the appearance of several real-life boxers, and for marking the final appearance of film legend Humphrey Bogart.
You'll be famous. They'll treat you like a king.
While ostensibly fictitious, The Harder They Fall is a rip-from-the-headline style riff on a real-life boxing scandal involving the world heavyweight champion of 1933 and 1934, Primo Carnera, aka the Ambling Alp, who sued Columbia Pictures for $1 million over this movie. A special shout out to Gavin O'Connor's 2011 mixed martial arts movie Warrior, starring Tom Hardy, Joel Edgerton, and Nick Nolte. Sure, McGregor will fight Mayweather under professional boxing rules rather than the shins, elbows, and knees he's accustomed to in the UFC, but Warrior is worth watching as it's one of the only truly great MMA-themed films we've gotten thus far. It's got the David and Goliath thing going for it, plus intense family drama. Nick Nolte was nominated for an Academy Award for Warrior, but if unapologetically lowbrow martial arts fare tickles your fancy, and why shouldn't it, we recommend another look at Jean-Claude Van Damme's Bloodsport. There are, of course, many, many other great boxing movies to behold. Cinderella Man, The Hurricane, The Boxer. We could go on forever. There are also several great documentaries, like When We Were Kings. Let us know which boxing classics you'd have rather seen in this list. And don't forget to subscribe to MovieWeb to keep up on all of the conversations about the things we love. Please like, share this video, and get to binging. Start binging the boxing.
Let's get